crafty friends, how's everyone doing today? Welcome to my channel. This is Sheree, and today I'm doing a little craft ephemera, I'm going to call it. It's for the sewing pattern journals, and it is going to be fabric swatch samples journaling cards. So I've got some paper scraps here. These are all cardstock pieces. Just from a little scrap pile that I did I even go through my scrap box? I think that these are just some I had out already. And then I had these scraps right here in my fabric scraps that I have here in my craft room, just a little drawer of fabric scraps. And I don't know if these are too small, but I did get them out. These are right here. And then these I got out of my drawer of fabric I have, and some of these were sent to me by a friend. These two right here, not these, and not this one. I think this is some eyelet fabric, and then this is from something I got at a thrift store, and these were from my friend right here, just little pieces that I have had for a while that I haven't used, and I thought even like this one especially, there's a lot of this one, I would like to use some of that if possible, but we're gonna kind of match it up with the paper and see what goes with what. So let's get busy, because I would like to make, as many as we can during a little bit of time here, and these are super simple. These are going to be super simple. So like this fabric here, I'm going to need to cut. I have my pinking shears here to cut with. I don't think I need my bone folder. Oh yeah, I threw my bone folder out in case because I'll show you how I'm going to make them. I'm just going to make a little flap at the top, and then I might want to, flatten out my fold. And then I have my plan is just to put a couple of staples in the top so that someone can either use it as a journaling card, they can glue it down, they can leave it separate in a pocket, or they could actually take the little fabric piece off by just removing a couple of small, this is the Tim Holtz Tiny Attacher, and so they can just remove that. There's a couple of tiny staples, and then they'll be able to use the actual fabric piece. So, being that I want to use this one first, let's see what we can match it up with. It's got golds and greens in it, pretty much. Golds and greens. So I'm going to say that we'll go with, I'm going to say this has gold in it, so I'm going to say I'll go with that. It'll go with this. This is kind of a generic pattern. And will it go with this? I'm going to say it will go with that. And then, so we'll make a few of those, and then see what we can do with the rest of the fabric. And these more, I'm going to say more colorful, because they have more of a pattern. This one is double-sided. This one is double-sided. And this one has pattern tissue on the back, a cut off from that piece. So what I want to do is make them about, not too big, but I want them to fit into a pocket. So just say the total height will be about like, I'm picturing it about like, well, let's just fold this piece in half. That would be the most economical thing to do, so that we don't waste paper and make more scraps. And then I'm going to cut the fold off here. And so we'll have two cards. And they can go either way. Hearts on the inside, hearts on the outside, whatever. I think that maybe we'll do one of each. How about that? So we'll make a little fold. And so, like I said, super simple. The simplest, I don't know. I have made fabric swatch cards before, but what I did was, I don't think I made them like this. I don't remember making them like this. I made little notebooks like this, like with paper. But see why I need my bone folder? I'm going to get this little fold here nice and flat. And but I made, with fabric swatches, I made like a piece of of cardstock, and then I cut out little squares and made fabric samples that way. This is going to be one piece of fabric. So see, the blue's on the outside. On this one we'll put the hearts on the outside. I'm not measuring this top part that I fold out. I'm just going to fold it, and then I'm going to cut a piece of fabric to fit on here. So both ways look cute. I don't know which way I like better. If I like this one better, I'll fold that one around, but I kind of like both of them. I'm trying to get this straight here, so it looks like it's a little crooked. Is it crooked? It's a little off to the right. Okay, there we go. Okay, so they should be about the same size, but I think I made this flap a little bigger there. So like I said, I'm not measuring really though, but so let's cut a piece of fabric to fit. Let's just see what we have here. We have one big piece. So, oh look, there's a little bird on here. Isn't that cute? Oh my goodness, that's adorable. I've got to put the, let's see, there's another little bird right there. Alright, so we got to be careful about the bird. We can do the bird, I guess. I guess we can do the bird, okay. I didn't know there was a bird on here. I thought it was just leaves. But that is so cute. It's like almost like a stitched fabric. Or I guess it's a woven fabric or something. Is it stitched on there? It's kind of stitched around the edges, but it's a piece of fabric that is sewn on around the edges. Is what it looks like. And then these are all like embroidery here, all the leaves and the stems. Okay, so this is what we're going to do. We are going to try to get it on here so I can measure. So let me get my cardstock straight, get the bird kind of in the middle, and then we're going to cut. This is how I'm measuring. Right here. One more inch, and then the same on this side. Well, let's measure again. Straighten out my fabric. And okay, the bird totally fits on there. So, and then another piece, another cut right here. It would have been easier if there wasn't a bird, but now that I saw the bird, I must have the bird. Okay, well, there's our first one, our first fabric sample. For today, anyway. This is kind of a silky fabric. So that's probably why I haven't used it, because it's like not cotton, and it's not, you know, cotton like I'm used to, so it's kind of hard for me to use, but perfect for this little craft, and it's very beautiful. Okay, I'm just trying to straighten up that top edge, but that's going to be stapled anyway, but still want it to be straight. Now, how do we look? The bottom edge I want is not pinked right now, but I do want it pinked so it doesn't, it's starting to, well, it's frayed a little bit, which I don't mind the fraying, but I want to go ahead and, I think it looks more like a fabric sample if it's pinked all the way around. So we'll try to get a straight line here across the bottom. That's pretty good, I would say. I think it's going to fit on there nicely. So let's do it. So this will be over the top. And just fold that down. So I'm calling these fabric sample journaling cards. So there's that part of it, and let's get our stapler. Like I said, 2 little staples. 1, 2, and there you go. So if somebody wanted to leave it as a journaling card, you could glue it down in a journal or put it in a pocket. But here's the journaling space right there. So being that this is the journaling space, it is better to have the blue under here so that that is something you can write on, right? Okay, and then the decorative part is on the outside. Good to think about that. So being that we did think about that, or that ended up that way, and then we thought about it on that one, let's turn this one around because that worked out well, right? Okay, so is this the one we were trying to get straight? Okay, all right, so now I don't know if I want to try to get the other birds way up there. Let's just kind of do this in a different way and just get the next piece here, and we'll put this on here. So all we have to do is cut about the same length up this other side and then cut around this one. So you can see how easy these would be to make, and it's a fun way to use up some scraps and the paper cardstock. I like the cardstock for the base. It makes a nice sturdy base. And then so use up some cardstock scraps and then some fabric. And you could make them smaller, or you could make them bigger, or you can make them whatever size you want. Okay, let's move that for the moment. And cut across the bottom. See how that's fraying? We don't want that, so let's cut that off with our pinking shears. I don't know if I have my pinking shears listed in my Amazon affiliates down under in my description box. I'll have to look because these were a really good deal on Amazon. Now I've had them a couple, 2 or 3 years, but they were only like $7.99. And pinking shears can be quite expensive, but these are not like a name brand like Fiskars or anything, but they cut really nice. I mean, you can see me cutting with them. I use them all the time, only for fabric. I don't use them on paper, so that helps keep them nice. But yeah, a really nice cutting pair of pinking shears that weren't expensive. And I got them new ones because I had a nice pair. I have a nice pair, but I didn't want, it would cost me probably more to get them sharpened than it was to get a brand new pair. So I just got a brand new pair. Okay, so this one's ready to go. All right. Okie dokie. Let's try to get it straight there. See, I'm just eyeballing where I'm putting my staples. I'm not like being super precise or anything. Just trying to get them kind of spaced pretty good there, but they're not perfect. There's another one. Okay, so, and then we had this here. So let's see. Again, I think we should cut this in half. Scrap from the last one. The little fold I cut off. The little fold I cut off. All right, there's that. So if it has paper on either side that's not, necessarily great for writing, you can add writing space, or not, whatever somebody might want to do. Since these aren't necessarily great writing, this you'd have to use like a black pen or a white pen, a gel pen or something. So maybe I'll put this kind of solid side on the inside on those, and then this one, somebody could add writing space if they wanted to. I'm probably not going to right now, but you could later. So let's see. This I don't think is straight right here. Let me even that up. And how does this one look? This one looks okay. Must have been the other side that wasn't even on that one. And then, let's see, let me go ahead and put this on the inside. I'm just going to make a small, like, it's not quite even an inch, I don't think, fold at the top here. You can score this before you fold it if you like to score before you fold on cardstock. I'm kind of just trying to do it without my scoreboard or scoring. I think let me fold this one this way and see if I like it better this way. I think I might. Oh no, that's the same way I folded the other one. Okay. Yeah, I like it. I think I like it this way. This one's a little bit more plain here, so if you wanted to add, and this side's more decorative, so if you wanted to add some writing space, you would have a nice background here. Add some copy paste paper or whatever. Piece of cardstock, manila folder, whatever. Okay, so let's see what, I think I was thinking of putting this fabric with all of these, but I guess kind of, I'm going to call this lightweight denim. I think this would look pretty because it's the same blue and red colors, and there's some yellow and white in here too, so I'm trying to remember what this was from. It's from an apron, I think, or something like that. So let's cut a piece of this, or I think it was an apron, but it could have been, I don't think it looks like almost like maybe it was a tea towel, but I don't think it was a tea towel. Okay, so I've got a hem over here. Oh yeah, see, here's the apron string. It was an apron. That's the apron string. Okay, so I need to get this hem off of here, so let me turn it over so I can see where I'm cutting. So I can get a couple pieces off for the next couple. So I'm going to cut right next to the hem. Just kind of cut that hem off the edge here. And I think I'll cut a piece maybe that's long enough in case I want to make two out of a long piece there. And then let's cut the bottom off too. There's a hem here. Let's cut that off, and then we'll figure out how long we want our fabric sample. Got it. That is one thing about buying a clothing type item at the thrift store to use the fabric. It actually is a little more work than just buying a piece of fabric. I've done it many times, and sometimes I'm sorry I bought clothes because it's like, oh my goodness, this is a lot of work. I'd rather just have a piece of fabric. I've never bought a wedding dress. I know people have bought wedding dresses to cut off the lace and stuff, but oh my goodness. I bought much smaller pieces of clothing, and that was a lot of work. I can't imagine trying to cut up a wedding dress. The biggest thing I ever bought was a quilt or two, and that was mammoth amount, and that was just a big piece of, kind of like a big piece of fabric, but it's thick, it can be thick depending, on the thickness, so that can be hard to cut up too, a quilt. But I can't even imagine trying to cut up a wedding dress. It would just be, I've seen them. I've had opportunities to buy wedding dresses where I could cut up and get the lace and things, but I was like, no. That is not something I would enjoy. And if you enjoy it, that's great, but I know cutting up the quilt was just more work than I ever imagined, so I know I couldn't, I'm not the person that's going to cut up a wedding dress to get the little lace pieces, although I know they're very beautiful. It would probably be worth it, but if you don't like doing that sort of thing, I would say don't do it. Don't do it, because you'll regret it. I don't buy quilts anymore either. Big quilts. If I find quilt squares or something, that's one thing, but if I find a big quilt, I'm like, no. No thank you. I'll just get fabric. The quilt was way too much work. Okay, let's see. So I think this is cute. I think I want the stripes running this way. So that's why I'm kind of trying to get this down to the right size. Yeah, That looks good with the red and blue. There's a little speck of a thread there. But yeah, these are cute. Okay, yeah, I like that. Let's get our stapler. Keep putting it in a different place every time I put it down. Here we go, another one. That's number 3. And so we cut enough there off of the hem and everything so we can get 2 pieces. Let's see. Is this piece going to be good? We have enough to staple. Or is it white? No, I don't think it's wide enough this way. So I think we need to go up instead of over. So that's where we were right here. That's why I cut that piece of the hem off that high so I could get this piece here if I needed to, and I think I need to. So let's see where the height goes. About right here. So only a few items really to make these. So it could be a TV craft. Like I don't need, if you wanted to get your cardstock ready pieces before you go watch TV or go to work, you wouldn't need your paper cutter. Just get your paper ready and then take your, pieces of fabric and a scissors, stapler, there you go. And it doesn't have to be a tiny attacher. I'm going to have to even that up there. Okay, let me just get this off of here so I can see what I have going on. It's kind of... Alright, there we go. Now we got it off. Let's see what I have here. Now I'm making these just according to what I have here, like, but it would be easier if they were all the same size. You know what I mean? You could just cut all your paper the same size, all your fabric the same size, and be done with it. But since I'm using scraps, I'm working with the sizes that I have here and then making them, putting them together. So that's a little bit more work, but I don't mind it. I don't mind this kind of thing. It doesn't bother me at all. I like it. And I love making an ephemera too. I love making an ephemera. When I have an ephemera idea. And I like making simple ephemera too. Like, a lot of my ideas or things I like to do are not overly complicated, but they're fun and cute. So, like these little fabric samples. Oh, I meant to mention, I got this idea from Maria. Hope she watches this video. Maria, you gave me this idea, and you didn't know it. She was doing a Thrifty Thursday. I think it was last Thursdays. If you want to watch, I'll link her channel below. Go watch her Thrifty Thursday. And she got from the thrift store some, I think it was in one of her bundles, like her thrift store does bundles, like they put a bunch of stuff in a bag or some kind of bundle. And then if there's something in there that, that she thinks the bundle will make it worth her while, she'll get it. And I think in one of the bundles was some actual fabric samples from Pottery Barn. Pottery Barn, yeah. And they were like this. They look like this. They were little like cardstock pieces with a folded over top. Now it probably said Pottery Barn or something up there. So that's an idea. You could put some words up here. If you have some words or a little piece of ephemera or something to decorate this little top part, that would be cute. Oh, look at the back of this one. That is cute. Here's the other one. This is Tim Holtz paper. Maybe you recognize it. But yeah, Maria gave me this idea and she didn't know it. She showed, see, and that's what I was saying the other day, how I watch videos and it's a Thrifty Thursday video. It's something I see done 100 times, but there you go. I'm going to make these a little, they're so big. I kind of like, and I don't know if that would actually fit in the pocket. I want to make them a little thinner, so I think I'm going to cut off about 1/2 inch here. But yeah, you never know what is going to, if you feel like you're losing your mojo or you don't know what to do next type of thing, I'd say, I mean, just, you know, you're probably like, oh, you know, another this, another that. I've seen that, I've seen this, I've seen everything. But just watch something that you're interested in, a crafty video that you're at least a little bit interested in, and then see what happens, you know. I mean, I just, it's just amazing, actually, what ideas you'll get, right? And it's not like you're not doing the same thing. Like Maria didn't make fabric swatch cards. She showed some that she got at the thrift store, and that was like, oh, I can make some of those with my scraps, you know, and my fabric, you know, kind of like actual real. Those were actual real fabric samples from the Pottery Barn, and we can make them a fun one like journaling spots with our scraps. So pretty cool, pretty cool. Let's see, I'm trying to see which way. I think I like this way on this one, and I like this. I don't know which way I like it. I'm gonna experiment here. I might turn it around real quick. Let me see. Let's turn one around and see if we like the pattern paper on the outside or the inside. Yeah, I think I'm going to like it on the inside. I have no idea what fabric's going with this, so we shall see. But that way this can be more written on here because it's a solid color. Okay, let's look through our fabrics and see what might look good on here. Oh, let's see. I'm seeing this will look good, and this will look good. Yeah, even this one would look good. So we've got several choices with this one. Let's do this one because I've never used this fabric. Let's see what's on here. Like it looks like labels. That's cool. Yeah, I've never used this one, and this is the one I got from my friend. Let's see, the denim like one I got from the thrift store, and the first one with the leaves and the bird I got from a friend in Happy Mail. So I received it from a friend. Okay, this one is pretty much almost the size of my little card here, so I don't have to cut too much. I am going to cut it all the way around though with the pinking shears, so let's cut a piece a little bit bigger than we need since we're going to be cutting a border around. This is cute little fabric here with the kind of like labels on it. There's a vegetable carrot label, and there's this one with alfalfa seed. Cute. This one looks like, that looks upright. This one's going to look like it's upside down. Well, the carrots aren't upside down, so I guess we'll do it this way. Alright, I mean these labels go every which way, so technically it's non-directional. Okay, let's cut right here. And so I don't want waste fabric. I'm just going to cut. I'm just cutting, you know, not trying to get any specific thing on these two right here. When I saw that bird though, I had to have that bird. It was so cute. Alright, so we are pinking all the way around this one. So, fun journaling cards made out of fabric and again using scraps. Okay, so by the time you see this video, I should be done with my, maybe even during yesterday's video, I was done with my sewing journal. So we'll see. But the sewing journal flip through will be tomorrow. So stay tuned for that. And I've got a fun Thrifty Thursday. I talked about my thrifting. Oh, I didn't talk about all of my thrifting, but I talked about my Saturday thrifting in, I think, yesterday's video. And then, but I did go to, where did I go? I went to 2 other thrift stores this week at work. I mean, on my lunch break at work this week. I didn't get a lot of crafting done on my lunch break this week because I wanted to get out this week. It was nice, you know, up into the 70s, almost 80, and I was like, I gotta go. I gotta get out. I gotta feel the warmth. Gotta get some vitamin D. Okay. All right, we'll do a couple more. I know you got the idea. We're just crafting. We're just crafting together today. Don't think of it as a tutorial and it's done, one and done. We are crafting together. Okay, so that's, what's, did I say 6? We used 3 different fabrics so far. Oh, I put the same one on both of those. I was going to, okay, let's see. Okay, so let me see. We've got so many scraps here. Some of these, let's do something a little different here. So that's a long one. Here's short, short. Let's use some of these short ones so I don't have to be cutting. So let's put these to the side, because you saw what I did with those. I just cut them in half and used each half. Let's see what, if we have anything that would go with this. I think this one would still go with this, because it's white on the inside. Oh, it's pink. Oh, that would, oh, that's so pretty together. Oh my goodness. We're doing this one next. We got 2 of those too. That's this one here. Okay, cool. That looks really pretty. Oh, there's a piece of, there's something, that's okay, we'll use, there's a piece of paper on here, like, this was an upholstery sample. Okay, let's fold this down. We're going to do it like this, because this looks so pretty against that color. And then this is the other side. I got a nice, before I started this video, I got myself a nice, fresh, hot cup of coffee. Got it right here. Let me take a drink. Since apparently my throat's getting dried out. And I got the heater on if you can hear it whirring, because I didn't want to wear a jacket right now, so I have my shirt on. Of course I have a shirt on, but I didn't want to wear a jacket, so I turned my... It's warm outside, like 68, like I said. And I think I said that today. But it was cool in my craft room, so... And I didn't want to wear a jacket, so... Turned on my heater. I like to wear a jacket. Because, you know, then I don't have to turn on my heater if I'm a little chilly. But I don't always like to wear a jacket during the video, so... I'm not cold anymore though, so I should go turn that off. Okay, that was nice and crooked. Look at that. Oh my word. Is that what you're saying? Oh my word, Sheree, that's crooked. Yes, it is. I like this right here. This little different kind of pattern there. So I think I'm going to cut this side about 1/2 inch off this side. I can save this. I put these little fabric strips in with my paper strips and use them in sewing together my paper strips so they don't go to waste. Okay, that looks so pretty with that little border around it, but I need to straighten this up. Let's see. Even though it's got paper from the sample, I'm just leaving that on there because technically we're like kind of like pretending like it's a real fabric sample. So a real fabric sample did have that paper on it because that's what it was. This was an upholstery sample from the thrift store that I purchased. Okay, so I've got a little border. See the size of it? I got a little of that kind of pretty border, pretty pattern behind it, and pretty color. It's got white, kind of our light pink polka dots on that pretty color. Okay, stapler. Here's another one, and I think you could write on that paper there. That is so pretty. Okay, I kind of would like to do some of this eyelet. I've never used this one either. This is from my friend. But let me see what... I mean, I could put this on anything. It's just white eyelet, so it can go on anything. I'm just trying to see. Let's see. So this looks good with that flowery one. I'm going to put another flowery fabric on that one, but not right now. And this has a white background. This has a white background. Let's do, oh, I have two of those. Let's do one of these. I think that would be really pretty on here. This is pretty straight. So we'll get a little fabric sample of the white eyelet. This is white on this side. So there'll be writing space behind it. And so the white is going to go on white, but I think that's really pretty. Just very delicate and pretty. So let's cut a piece. Let's cut a piece. You could ruffle fabric like this. Make ruffles. That would be pretty to do. This is kind of cottony with this embroidered eyelet flowers on here. And I could see ruffling this. This would be real pretty little ruffles. Because I have some eyelet fabric. I have some eyelet trim, actually. Okay. And then we're going to go up in there. And once I get it straight, and then cut across the bottom. I'm going to cut right across the bottom of these flowers right here. There's not really much down here. A little bit of embroidered stems there, but really it looks kind of plain down here at the bottom. So I think I'll just cut, since I have to cut somewhere, let's cut there. And that piece won't go to waste. And then, let's see, what did I, oh, I need to straighten up this side here first. Cut that a little crooked. That's probably the hardest part of this whole project, is cutting the fabric straight. And of course, you can use a roller if you want to just cut it. And I actually have a roller that does pinking, but I don't really use it. Of course, I don't use it because then I'd have to get out a cutting mat and all the things. So this is much easier just to use my scissors. Now I need to cut a little bit of pinking down here. So I'm cutting off the top of these flowers, which is fine. Okay, I know that was quiet. I really do need to turn off that heater now. I'm getting quite warm. Let me staple this and then, oh, that is pretty. That's pretty on there. It's very pretty. It's very pretty. Okay. Oh, that's very pretty. So it could be a fabric flip kind of thing. If you want to glue it down. But my idea is to use it as a piece of tape there. Alright, so did we use all the fabric? No. We didn't use any of this chicken one. This one. There's the little ones here. We used a piece of this though. This lavender one. See, I pulled out a lot. This one. This one. This one I recently used on a spine of my last, I think it was the last sewing pattern journal. So I'm not going to worry about these little ones now because I think they're actually too little for what I'm doing. But let's do one more. Let's see what goes with what. Let's see what goes with what. This red one would look cute with this watermelon, kind of like both summery. This one actually would look good with this one, wouldn't it? This one right here. Yeah. Kind of the same. Let's do that one next. Yeah, I like that a lot. And I need to use this up. This was in my scraps. I haven't even used. Oh, it's two-sided. It is very retro, so this will go in my stash. Or, you know, wherever. It'll go in my stash for wherever I want to use it. Wherever I think it fits. And this is already about the right width. Look at that. I might just cut this at the bottom and leave it at that. If I can cut a straight line across the bottom here. Let's see how far it tucks up into there. I'll cut right in between these, or right underneath these flowers right here. See, they're similarly shaped flowers. So, and I've never used that fabric. This is from my friend. And this is going to be so cute. Let's see, I think almost looks like this is the front. It probably doesn't really matter, but, and here's the pinked edge here, so we'll put that on the bottom. Perfect. So cute. So I could put this in a pocket, and then somebody could use it how they wish on this. Glue it down, or put a writing spot underneath here. There we go. Okay, so we'll stop there. I could just do this all day, right? These little pieces, making an ephemera like this, I could just do it all day, but let's see what we made. Oh, here's more over there. How fun these are. The leaf. Using up scraps. Here's the bird. So cute. The little bird. And then, let's see. Next was the, I think these were next, the little ones that kind of look like denim with the Tim Holtz paper. Simple. It doesn't get any simpler, I don't think. You don't have to cut them with pinking shears. You can just use regular scissors, or you can rip it. Just have, you know, rough edges. These are really pretty with this eyelet. Oh my goodness. I have to make some more of those. Here's that pretty one. This actually even has a hole in it where it used to be probably in a sample book. So that was a real sample, and now it's a sample again. And this one with the retro flowers and the retro flower, the smiley faces paper. Cute. All right, thanks for watching today, guys. Look forward to tomorrow. Should be the flip through of my sewing pattern journal, and I will see you then. Have a great day.